Good afternoon, guys. It is Friday, October 22nd. It is 11:40, and I just got my first order on Uber Eats. It is for $7, going less than 2 miles, I believe. So that is a perfect order to start my day. So I'm going to turn on my Stride app to track my miles. I've been really good at remembering that lately, because the days where I come home from a full day of work and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't turn on my Stride app. What app do you guys use? I'm just curious to know. It's a nice, cool day. I'm so excited I get to wear a jacket today. It's finally feeling like fall. It is about time. Oh, don't you just love that feeling of watching a movie on a crisp fall night under a blanket? You got your favorite snacks, you turn off the lights, you light a candle, and you turn on that one movie that got 10 Oscar nominations back in 1974. Did you know that The Exorcist was the first horror film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar back in 1974? While the film didn't win that award, they did end up winning 2 out of the 10 nominations that evening. Linda Blair was actually nominated as Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars, but she didn't win that either. But she did win a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress, and that's a pretty great achievement to have at only 15 years old. So good for you, Linda Blair. All right, so that order at Sweet and Tart was ready on the bar for me. This customer, I'll put the screenshots up, but it says customers have reported wrong or missing items before. And then it just tells you to be careful and that the restaurant should verify, so I did. You know, my automatic first thought is that, oh, the customer's shady or the customer's trying to get something free, but I've gotten delivery and either something was missing or an item was wrong, so, you know, it's not, I shouldn't always think that it's the customer's fault, because sometimes it is the restaurant's fault, and then the customer might think it's our fault, but everything's in there. This place is good, so on we go. They are 3 minutes away, 0.8 miles for $7. Thank you, Uber. Thank you again, Uber, for being the star of my day so far. And speaking of stars, did you know that Drew Barrymore was originally cast to star in Scream as Sidney Prescott, but only 5 weeks before the production began, she changed her mind and wanted to play the role of Casey Becker, who is killed off in the opening scene, to throw off the audience's expectations that usually a star of her stature would survive the movie. I'd say she did a pretty good job throwing the audience off. The role of Sidney Prescott ended up being played by Neve Campbell, and I have to say I've always loved her because I grew up obsessed with Party of Five. Anyone else love that show? There was another star in a movie who didn't have much screen time either, and that was Jaws himself. He did not fully appear in the movie until 1 hour and 21 minutes in. One reason for this was to continue to build that rising tension by only giving glimpses of him, but it was also because the mechanical shark they built rarely ever worked, and Steven Spielberg had to create inventive ways to shoot around it. There were 3 sharks built in total: a left side shark, a right side shark, and 1 full shark. Some were nicknamed Flaws because of their issues, and in the end, the shark only ended up having 4 minutes of screen time. Can you believe that? All right, I just picked up a Panera offer on DoorDash. $4.75, but it's only going... Sorry, I didn't know what this car was doing. Neither did they. It's only going 0.4 miles, which isn't bad at all. So this will be done in no time. The order was ready. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll just take an offer because I need to use the restroom. And I did. So we are good to go, but pretty slow out there today. Instead of just staring at my phone, hoping for an order while it's been so slow, I used this downtime to learn that serial killer Ed Gein inspired 3 of the most iconic horror movies to date: Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The details of what was found in Gaines, Wisconsin farm are so disturbing. I am not going to share them here, but I will leave a link in the description if you'd like to learn more, but be warned. He first caught the attention of police in 1957 after a hardware store owner named Bernice Warden went missing, and he was seen with her shortly before her disappearance. Upon police visiting his farm, they found her body, and they found the head of Mary Hogan, a tavern operator who disappeared in 1954. He eventually admitted to killing both women, but he was deemed unfit for trial back in 1957. It wasn't until 1968, after staying in various psychiatric wards, that he could participate in his own defense. He was, of course, found guilty, but deemed insane at the time of the crime, so he returned to a mental hospital where he remained until his death in 1984. As soon as I dropped off that $4.75 Panera offer, the Chipotle offer came through on DoorDash, I think for $5.40, going 0.8 miles. So, you know, these low-paying offers, I mean, they still have tips, and they're very low mileage. I mean, they're not even a mile. So if these little offers kept coming in consistently, that would be great. I'd be happy to take them. But it's just been so slow. But that's why I'm taking them. I'm out here to make some kind of money, right? So hopefully after I drop off this one, another one will come right through. Come on, DoorDash. Come on, Uber Eats. I'm rooting. I, of course, can't talk about scary movies without mentioning Halloween and Michael Myers. Interesting story of how his mask came about, and no, it was not modeled after Mariah Carey. His mask was originally only described as having the pale, neutral features of a man, and it eventually came down to two decisions. The production designer Tommy Lee Wallace bought cheap masks from a local toy store. One mask was a replica of a clown character called Weary Willie, and another was a stretched-out Captain Kirk mask from Star Trek. Director John Carpenter chose the Captain Kirk mask because of the eerie blank stare that he felt fit the Myers character. William Shatner was very surprised to hear about this and found it to be pretty funny. He was a good sport, I gotta say. Okay, I'm accepting this one. Just came in after that Chipotle drop-off. It's $5.75 for 1.8 miles, so hey, these small and mighty orders, keep them coming. I'll be happy. On our way. Speaking of small and mighty, the star of Carrie, Sissy Spacek, is only 5'2". But that did not stop her from insisting that it was her own hand used in the final scene of Carrie. Sissy Spacek was essentially buried alive to have it be her hand and arm that came out from her burial site. Director Brian De Palma wanted to get a stunt person, but in an interview with NPR, Spacek joked that she's always done her own foot and hand work, and she always will. And that is definitely being dedicated to your own role to be buried alive. Would you do the same thing? Okay, so I've done 4 orders today so far, and I'm at $23.60 with those 4 orders, and I've only done 4.5 miles. That is awesome. I really like that miles to dollar ratio. I'll try to show you here. I don't know, did that work? Did you see that? But it's getting a bit later now, and I'm starving. I gotta go eat lunch myself, so I may take a pause. May give it a few more minutes to see if another order happens to come through. Well, nothing else worthwhile came through, so it was time for me to go home and eat my own lunch. So I thank you guys for coming with me on this hour of deliveries. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. I love replying to you guys. Take care, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.